Welcome to Tracy's Rhythmic Life. If you are new to my channel, I'm Tracy. On this channel, this is where we grow, learn, and enjoy the rhythm of real life and gardening together. Today, we're going to be planting out some ginger. All right, friends, as you see here, I will be planting my ginger in this little space here in the garden. And remember, I never planted anything during the fall and winter season in this bed. So I'm gonna go ahead on and get this prep. And if you remember, if you have been following along with me already, I showed where I had an ant bed in this bed, and I were able to tackle those and get rid of them. So this is where I will be planting my ginger. So let me go ahead on and get my amendments, a little bit of soil, and let's get planting. Alright guys, as you can see here, I'm adding some compost and manure and just a little bit of worm casting. I may need to add a little bit of perlite in here to help with aeration so the soil will not get compacted. And I'm just going to see what I'm working with right now. Alright guys, as you can see, I also have some leaf compost pile in here that I had in this bed during the fall and winter season. And I actually went back and amended this soil just thinking that I would be adding some type of vegetable in here, but I never did. But so far it's still looking good. Let's see, I'm gonna move some of the leaf pile right here. Then I'll just go back and add it on top. I'm hoping that you all have a good view of me. The sun is really bright this morning. It looks pretty good. But after all the rain and during the winter cold season, a lot of the amendments in here needs to be replenished. I need to go and get my, I thought I had my other little rake here. Alright guys, let me go back up and get some more materials that I need. Alright guys, use this little tiller here, this little handheld tiller. Now I've had this tiller here for a few months now. I purchased it from Dollar General. It was on sale during the off season. A lot of times when the fall hits in, you could get a lot of garden materials that's marked down from several different places. I think that's good enough. So I'm gonna drop a little bit of compost in here. Compost and manure. Now, you know, if you have never planted ginger before, ginger is pretty much a easier root to grow or plant to grow. It does take its time, so you just gotta almost like plant it and forget it. Just water it, you know, keep it watered in, not soggy and soaky. All right, I think that's good enough there. I'm gonna drop a little bit of this worm cast in it, and I did bring my a little bit of all-purpose fertilizer, which is 444. Now this bag, I have another bag as well. Y'all, I have some worm, a little bit of baby worm in here that I see. A little bit of small one there. But yeah, I have all these holes in this bag because something has gotten a hold to it. I guess they thought it was some feed. A cat, possibly, or a squirrel. So I got all those little tears in them, so I have them in a little container. That's my little tool left. Brush it around a little bit better. That's how I use my hands. I think this is a nice size to grow my ginger. Now you need a wide area where you do grow your ginger, because ginger, the plant grows up, but the actual root or rhizome of the ginger grows out. So it needs a good bit of space to spread, and that way you could get more. Here you go, right here. The soil is pretty much moist, but I'll come back and water a good bit after I'm done. I need to add some perlite in here. That's what I need to add. Forgot to get that, guys. So, all right, guys, I got my perlite here. Now, perlite helps with aeration. Help keeps the soil from getting compacted. I don't know what I was thinking. Add just a tad bit of more compost. And then we will be ready to plant, you guys. All right, got my soil amended. Add a little bit of fertilizer, a little bit of perlite. And now we are getting ready to plant. Now I purchased this is an organic one. I purchased this from Aldi. Now Now these are some older pieces that I've had already. Some of them are growing a little eye on those, but I'm gonna plant these as well. But let me show you what come in the purchase. Now this one has a big eye on it already, and this is what I was talking about, those that have eyes already. This is what you want to really pay attention to if you're buying it out the store and getting ready to plant it. And they prefer you get the organic, because the organic does not have any inhibitors on it that will prolong it rooting, so it has a longer shelf life in the store. But you know, you can get those as well. It just may take a little longer for them to start taking root because of the inhibitor that are on those. But these do not have them on it, and I think these are just some regular ones. These are not organic, but we're going to plant those as well. Now this is not my first time planting ginger. I planted some last year just to see how it does, and baby, I got some ginger, so I'm gonna plant a little bit more this time. And what you want to do is you want to place, now you can section these off and just make sure that you have an eye for each one that you plant. But I'm just gonna plant these whole. I'm not gonna worry about separating these. Then again, I might do, because these are some large sizes here, and if you separate it, you really want to make sure before planting it that it heals some, where it can kind of scab over like and get dry like this. But I think what I may do is just purchase some more to plant out, but I'm just gonna go with these. I'm not gonna separate them, because you know, I want to go ahead and get these planted, and I don't want to keep them any longer. So I'm just gonna place it in the soil, and you want to place it where the eye is kind of facing outward or up. And then you'll go back over it with some soil. You don't have to worry, but really also worry about planting it, having it in a deep container, because this size container here would have been good enough. Because like I said, you want a wider width of a container, more so than just worry about how deep it is. Now I had it in a large container last season, not really knowing what I was really getting into, or just learning and growing it rather. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of ginger placed out here. But like I said, this is kind of not really a real deep container, but it is kind of wide. And I probably could have placed it in you can do it in a grow bag. I could have come out better putting it in a grow bag, but I wanted to place it out here in the garden area where it can get more sun, because where I had it at last season, up under the shelter there, it got some sun, but not as much as it would out here in the garden area. And I spaced them a few inches apart and a few inches deep from the soil. And like I said, I would come back in and water this. All right, guys, so I have my ginger planted out. All right, guys, in a few weeks, we're gonna see what we have here, if they start to root, come through the soil here. All right, guys, thank you for coming along as I plant out my ginger today. If you enjoyed following along with me on my garden journey, be sure to subscribe where we can grow together on Tracy's Rhythmic Life. See you soon.